Welcome to Breakdown.
Welcome.
Sunday, August 3rd, 2025. And football, JJ, keep getting closer and closer and closer.
Yeah, it's right around the corner. I can smell it. I can taste it.
I can too. What are we going to talk about today? What team?
Well, we did Michigan last week.
We did.
So, Michigan State. Oh, you know what? Maybe we should go down south.
I ain't got no problem with going down south.
Okay.
Where you want to go?
Well, somewhere near where the Grizzlies play. They moved from Vancouver to Memphis.
I don't like Tennessee.
Well, why don't we hop over the border to West Memphis and then drive a little bit further on to Fayetteville? Why don't we go to Arkansas?
Woo pig suey. Let's get it done, JJ.
Let's do it.
You know, when we're going to preview the Razorback 2025 season. When we talked the last time with U of M, we started out with the coach. Let's start out with the coach for the Razorbacks.
Yeah.
That would be Sam Pittman.
Entering year 5.
Entering year 6.
Year 6.
Yes, sir. Came in 20, the COVID year.
Yeah, COVID year.
He was 3-7.
Yeah.
And those are all conference games because they only played conference game. The year after that, he was 9-4. JJ, you see a trend developing?
Yeah.
9-4 ain't bad.
It's not bad at all.
2022, he went from 9-4 to 7-6. And then in 2023, JJ, do we want to talk about that? Or we just want to skip over that one.
Well, we might as well talk about that. That was his low point from a realistic standpoint. Like COVID year, there was all types of complications. It was his first year. He was inheriting quite the program. He won 3 conference games his first year, which the coach he replaced couldn't win. He couldn't win one. He won as many as you and I did.
He's only topped that one time, and that was the following year.
That's true.
But in 23, he was 4-8. And then in 24 last year, he was 7-7. His career record is 30-31, JJ.
About as mediocre as you can get.
Below the Mendoza line. So, what does this year mean for him?
Well, I think this is a year. Every year the buyout gets, cheaper and cheaper. So
Indeed it does.
I think this is a year where he needs to show significant progress. He has all of his coordinators coming back. Offensive coordinator will be year 2, so I think he's gonna need to show significant progress and, potentially win.
Yeah, he has his offensive coordinator back-to-back years, 2 years in a row. So, how many wins does does Sam Pittman need to win in order to keep his job?
I think in order to keep his job, I think we discussed it a little bit earlier. We both said 8. And I think that's probably where I would stand, but I think it depends on context. I think finishing the year strong will be important. I think who he wins against will matter.
We're gonna go over their schedule too. Before we wrap it all up, you're gonna tell me if Bobby. I keep saying Bobby, guys. if Sam Pittman is gonna be back coaching Arkansas next year, but yeah, 30-31 isn't getting it, and his conference record of 14-28. You got to improve that. So we'll see. So right alongside Sam Pittman, the face of the Razorbacks, if we go to the player, this year's face of that team is going to be Taylen Green, the quarterback.
Yeah, the Boise State transfer is going to be in year 2.
Year 2 of yep. So what do you think about Taylen Green as a quarterback?
There's a lot to think about. Last year, Pro Football Focus, they had a college grading system, and they ranked him as, the 10th. He had the 10th best grade for all passes that went over 10 yards. So when protected, he seemed to be pretty competent. Unfortunately, last year he had 8 receivers that he will not be having this year. So
that's huge.
That is huge. They have a 30-year-old former Major League Baseball player stepping in, but their number one receiver is going to be a transfer from Charlotte by way of South Carolina, Omega Blake, and he's going to have to step into the role that Armstrong vacated, being like the sideline maestro, the jump ball, first option.
And you know what? Omega liked those sideline passes. And on the film that I saw, and in addition, Taylen Green liked to throw those.
Yeah, he does like to throw them. He likes to throw it down that tightrope on the sideline.
He does. And I think it's going to be a perfect combination. He, Omega Blake, and Taylen Green. But that's just my take on it.
Yeah, I mean, Taylen Green is known for his scramble drills last year, and I think he's going to be his first, second, and third option. Omega Blake will be coming in this year, so he could easily lead the SEC in targets because Taylen Green, once he locks in on the receiver, he can definitely get that tunnel vision sometimes. So I would not be surprised if he did that with Omega Blake.
I think that's not going to happen this year because he had tunnel vision last year, and they underutilized a very good player. I don't think anybody on that team is going to allow Taylen Green to underutilize some weapons. Speaking of some weapons, though, Omega Blake came in from Charlotte after playing at Carolina earlier in his career. Ismail Cisse transferred in from Stanford, and he's out for the season with ligament damage in his wrist.
Yeah.
Courtney Crutchfield is a homegrown Arkansas guy who skipped Arkansas his freshman year. JJ, where did he go?
You tell me.
He went to Missouri.
Yeah.
Crutchfield, and he's back at Arkansas now, a wide receiver, big body. And another guy they got, Cam Shanks, UAB. Arkansas played against him last year. He scored a touchdown against Arkansas last year. But he's small, but he specializes in punt return. He led the nation in punt returns last year.
Yeah.
And if he does that for Arkansas, it'll be a win for Arkansas. But talk about the losses at the receiver spot that they lost, JJ.
Yeah, I mean, Tesla, third round draft pick. Armstrong was,
led the SEC in yardage.
Just loved the SEC in yardage, and he was Taylen Green's favorite target,
Yes,
the security blanket. And then they lost the hometown Fayetteville kid to transfer to Oklahoma.
Oklahoma State.
I mean.
Satanga?
Satanga.
Yeah.
Satanga. So, they definitely have a depleted wide receiver room, and there's a lot of unproven guys. They're likely number one receiver, Omega Blake. He transferred from Charlotte. He spent 2 years at South Carolina before that, and didn't get the production that he was anticipating. So we'll have to see what he can do on the SEC level this time around.
Okay, JJ, you talked about Taylen Green's throws over 10 yards. How they rated like the 10th best. I think you said over 10 yards, right?
Yes.
In general, what do you think of Taylen Green? Because I ask you that because I think he's underappreciated by the media. I think he's a force. I think he's a combination of Matt Jones and Ryan Mallett all rolled into one, and that rolling those into one will give you Cunningham from the Randall Cunningham. Am I going overboard?
Well, to me, he's Terrell Pryor. He reminds me very much of what I saw from Terrell Pryor when he was at Ohio State. He doesn't have the same talent surrounding him that Terrell Pryor did at that time, so I don't think the production is necessarily matches up the same way. But I do think he's a big quarterback. Big mobile threat, strong arm.
Very strong arm.
Yeah, very comfortable throwing the ball on the move.
Very mobile.
But I think he is underappreciated, and I think that he will make strides in year two in Bobby Petrino's system. He was handpicked by Bobby Petrino.
Yes, he was.
And I think you'll see the fruits of their development in year two. I think that's I know he had some experience at Boise State, but it's a completely different beast playing in the SEC. It's a completely different offense playing for Bobby Petrino. So I do think that you will see a lot of strides. He had some issues his first year, but I think he got better as the season went along, and I think he's a really positive asset. I think he's probably the best asset that the Arkansas team has on offense specifically.
He's the face of the team.
He's definitely the face of it, and if it's not him, then it's the guy that's protecting his blind side, I would say.
And that will be, I'm trying to remember.
The transfer from Georgia Tech?
Yeah, Robinson.
Corey Robinson, yeah.
Robinson.
Pro Football Focus graded him as the second best pass protector of all tackles.
And Arkansas needed that badly because Taylen Green was hurt last year, JJ. He took a lot of sacks.
He did.
He took a lot of sacks. I'm going to talk about some of the losses that Arkansas had in the transfer portal. You know, they had so many that we ain't going to talk about all of them. I just want to talk about the ones who went to Mississippi. How come Mississippi keeps stealing out Arkansas Razorback starters, players? They stole 3, JJ. 3 starters, all of them pretty decent.
Yeah. They got offensive linemen. They got
Kudas, who was like a really good offensive lineman.
Yeah.
They got what did they get? Braxton, defensive back, and they got the tight end. Who's the tight end? I think you mentioned him earlier.
Lucas Haas?
Yeah, Luke Haas. Unfortunately, though, he's injured. He got injured in practice, so he's going to miss.
Well, he's always injured, unfortunately.
Well, he's that's true. He's going to miss a great deal of the season, so Arkansas won't get to play against him. But
that's actually addition by subtraction, because if he had gotten hurt at Arkansas, they would have just been
true.
Down a guy. So
that's true. You mentioned Corey Robinson. Arkansas's offensive line was really, really, really bad last year.
Yeah.
The projection is that this year is going to be really good.
Yeah, I mean, they do have a couple of offensive linemen that are projected to be starters elsewhere. We already mentioned Ole Miss, but they also have a guy that's supposed to be Kentucky's best offensive lineman.
And the guy that was at Arkansas last year, who was was projected to be second team All SEC this year. I can't even think of his name. Gosh, I hate that. But he's going to be good. So that's going to be interesting.
Well, they're going to need it. That's for sure.
JJ, I'm going to talk about Arkansas, what they're doing for DMAC.
Yeah, well,
Darren McFadden,
the 2-time Heisman Trophy runner-up.
Should have won it.
One of those times for sure.
For sure. Well, anyway.
And you know which one I think he should have won?
The first one.
No disrespect to Tim Tebow, but.
Yeah, I agree. I think most people think he should win the first one. The players wearing number 5. They get to wear, their jersey will have a silhouette of DMAC on it, in a way of honoring him. They're going to have an official against Texas A&M. They're going to have an official, not a jersey retirement, but an official something they're going to be doing.
Jersey honoring.
In honor of DMAC, yeah. So for all y'all who don't know DMAC, 2-time runner-up to the Heisman, ran for over 300-some yards as a running back against South Carolina
and LSU.
Oh man, I just wish he could bring that wood one more time, JJ. We got that wood.
Yeah, him, Felix Jones, and Peyton Hillis make quite the dynamic backfield.
3 of them, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But Arkansas, they picked up a good running back this year. They lost a good running back last year to graduation NFL.
And they kept a good running back who entered the transfer portal, who we weren't sure about.
Well, we don't really know if he's good.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
The freshman, he's about Braxton.
That was Braylon, but yeah, maybe it is Braxton. But the big true freshman who
he's lost about 10 pounds this year, Jay.
Okay,
supposed to be faster. But the guy they picked up, Corey Robinson, from not Corey Robinson, Ty Washington,
yeah,
from New Mexico State.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be the starter. Right now, they're saying they're battling it out. I like him a lot. They're about the same size, but Washington is faster, and he has more experience.
Well, we will see. We will see. I mean, I'll give a true freshman an opportunity to, get a year into the system and really improve. But honestly, whoever is the starter, they just need to produce, because we do have a revamped offensive line, and we're going to need to be able to rely on the run game to open up the pass.
Well, Bobby Petrino said when he was at Arkansas years and years and years ago that you pass to score, you run the ball to win games.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's what he said years ago. I'm still trying to figure out, but I think I got it. So before we go to their schedule, I want to tell you about a person. I want you to tell me who he is. My favorite Razorback player. He was a 3-star recruit in 2024. Don't say anything yet. He played 3 sports in high school: baseball, basketball, and football. Michigan State offered him a football scholarship. Nebraska offered him a football scholarship. Nebraska offered him a baseball scholarship. Arkansas offered him a football scholarship. Not a baseball scholarship. He signed with Nebraska. However, Nebraska had promised to let him play both football and baseball. But he was drafted by the Milwaukee Brewers in 2014, and he didn't go to college. He took the baseball route, and now he's a sophomore at Arkansas. My favorite Razorback player. Who am I talking about?
Someone that's in my age bracket that is, trying to relive the dream, but can't get mad at him.
Monte Harris. He hit a few home runs in the major league, stole 20-something bases in the major. Spent a lot of time in the minor, though, but
yeah.
I'm glad to see. I hope he get a chance to play. He's doing special teams last year, pretty good. Special teams this year. He got on the field a little bit last year. Hopefully he'll get on the field a whole lot this year, and hopefully he'll produce. But JJ, let's go through that schedule.
Let's go through the schedule.
Okay. Arkansas Razorback. This is their schedule. They start off with Alabama State. That's a 4:30 game. And you know they love football in Alabama.
Yeah, they do. Alabama State, rest in peace to Tavares Jackson. He transferred from Arkansas to Alabama State.
Yeah, and ended up going to the Vikings.
Went to the Vikings and before going to the Seahawks for a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a Tavares Jackson Bowl. I think Alabama State will do fine and lose by 40, but
okay. I'm hoping they lose by 50, but I'll take 40. JJ, Arkansas State. Arkansas has never ever played Arkansas State. Arkansas is in the northwest side, and Arkansas State is in the northeast side. They hook up in Little Rock this year. Is this the Super Bowl for Arkansas State?
Yeah, I mean, it might be. You just can't let them. Arkansas just can't let it be a memorable game for Arkansas State, is what I would say.
Arkansas State has been crying for Arkansas to play them ever since I was a kid, and I'm over 20 years old now, so they've been crying for Arkansas to play Arkansas for years. If Arkansas slips in this game, JJ, football as a sport in Arkansas will be demolished.
Yeah, it would be a very, very bad for Arkansas to lose Arkansas State.
I don't know if they could recover. And believe me, this is Arkansas State. Butch Jones. You know Butch Jones coaching Arkansas State?
Very familiar with Butch Jones, former Central Michigan coach, former Cincinnati coach, former Tennessee coach.
Exactly. So they got a good coach playing Arkansas in Little Rock, and the game probably won't even be sold out with Arkansas fans. They're not going to come there. So if Arkansas State, you need to sell that game out. Arkansas, after that, Arkansas go to Ole Miss, Oxford. So Arkansas is 2-0 going to Oxford. They come out of Oxford. How?
Well, they better be 2-0 going into Oxford. I don't know a lot about Ole Miss. They lose first-round draft pick at quarterback. They lost a lot. I mean, they went all in for last year. Last year was the year that they were supposed to make a true playoff push. Unfortunately, they had an upset loss to Kentucky, which kept them from making the playoff. They did revamp. They took a lot of Arkansas's players. 3 of them too many. Yeah, they took a couple too many players from Arkansas. Unfortunately for them, they're gonna have a big game the week before against Kentucky. That's gonna be a bit of a revenge game for them since they did lose at home against Kentucky the year prior. I'm sure. But
no, Kentucky. You're right. They gotta go to Kentucky. You're right. My bad.
Yeah, so
they're gonna be at Kentucky.
I'm sure that they're gonna be targeting that game a little bit, circling that one. So Arkansas might be able to slide in under the radar a little bit. I do think Arkansas has a good shot of beating Mississippi. I don't think that they're world beaters by any means, and I think that they're going to be significantly worse than they were last year.
It's going to be at Mississippi. I'm going to give Arkansas 3-0, JJ.
Yeah, I mean, Arkansas will not be favored, but I would not be surprised at all if they were to win.
Then Arkansas, JJ, you started talking about this city when we first came on the air, Memphis. They go to Memphis in week 4.
Yeah, the newest member of the Big 12, right? Oh, wait, that didn't.
They tried.
They tried.
they wanted
tried.
to.
They put their best foot forward, but
JJ, last year Memphis was 10-2.
They were 10-2.
So this is not going to be a gimme. They got a lot of players coming back.
And if you guys were paying attention to the news, one of their losses was to UTSA, which a Memphis player, Memphis player got kicked off the team, and apparently, they was caught direct messaging his former high school teammate, Josh McCown's son, who is the starting quarterback at UTSA, and he had the best game of his career against Memphis, and Memphis defensive back was telling him all of the plays and signals, so they could have, potentially been playing Army for a chance to make it to the college football playoff.
Is that legal?
That's a good question. What they did. That guy's now at Purdue. I don't know. What happened with that. But.
Well, okay, let's go to the game number 4. I'm gonna give Arkansas 4-0. When we finish with this, Arkansas is gonna be 13-0.
Oh, okay.
But game 4, Memphis. Game 5 in Fayetteville. Those Fighting Irish, runners up to the national championship, coming into Fayetteville.
Yeah.
Notre Dame, I feel sorry for you. I hope you're on your game that day. Because if they're not on their game, JJ, what's going to happen?
They have the best running back in the country. I think Notre Dame is going to come in and beat Arkansas, unfortunately.
Oh, man. They got an ex-Arkansas player who, tight end, who got kicked off the team last year. I can't even think of his name. But against Mississippi State in the 4th quarter, coaches told him to go in. Guess what he said?
Sure, coach. Let me get my helmet. I'll go right in.
Well, he grabbed his helmet and kept going to Notre Dame because he got kicked off the Arkansas team, and he's playing tight end in Notre Dame now.
We'll see if he'll get any playing time, see the field. They're going up against former Michigan head coach Lloyd Carr's grandson. He'll be the starter at Notre Dame. So.
Quarterback.
Yep, that quarterback.
Right, yeah. And moving on, JJ, that's 5 games for Arkansas. I'm going to say maybe Arkansas might be 4-1 at that time. Then they get a bye, and then they go to Tennessee. Last year they upset Tennessee. Tennessee was number 4 team in the nation, and Arkansas beat them in Fayetteville.
Yeah, got to return the favor to Knoxville, and we don't know what Tennessee's gonna look like.
Who's the quarterback gonna be?
It won't be Nico Iamaleava, and Arkansas also will not have an Iamaleava on their team either, because
that's true.
They both
at UCLA.
They're both at UCLA because of the great advice and great wisdom of their father. I don't know how that's gonna play out, but I do know that Tennessee, I do think, got a little bit worse. They basically did a straight swap for quarterbacks. They took UCLA's quarterback.
That's true. I got Arkansas winning the game.
Yeah,
Tennessee.
It's going to be tough to win in Knoxville. That one's going to be tough.
I like the way Arkansas played Tennessee. They always play Tennessee tough. Well, let's go to the 7th game. 2, 4, 7. Texas A&M. This is the first time that I can remember in a long time that they're playing this game in Fayetteville. Usually it's in Dallas. Last year was the contract ran out. They didn't go to they don't go to Dallas this year. They play at Fayetteville. Texas A&M got a pretty good team.
They got a decent team. They have who's going to be the starting quarterback? We don't know.
Reed's going to be the quarterback.
Okay. Well, we shall see. I do know that it's still a bit of a competition was last I read, but
that's just my guess. I mean, obviously I don't know for certain, but I'd be shocked if it's not Reed. And all the prognosticators, I think, are leaning toward Reed. I mean, he started last year for them.
On paper, at home I would pick Arkansas to beat Texas A&M, but just the past decade plus of games against Texas A&M, I'm not even going to pick that. But
they were all in Dallas.
Yeah, on paper I think Arkansas. That's a game that Arkansas should win, but they just haven't been able to get over that Texas A&M hump for whatever reason.
What about Auburn coming into town? Arkansas, they got 3 home games in a row. The Texas A&M game, and then Auburn comes into town. Last year, Arkansas beat Auburn kind of handily, I would say.
Yeah, they did beat them kind of handily, but
they beat them by 10.
But good old Hugh Freeze, right after the game, said that was a game that Arkansas had no business of winning.
He said if they played 10 times, Auburn would win 9 of them.
Yeah. Well, what does that say about you as a coach then? That you were the one that coached that one time.
Exactly.
Anyway, I think Auburn will be, I think they're gonna be checked out by that point in time. I think they're gonna have some surprise losses to some teams.
Wow.
I think they'll have at least 3 losses by that point in time. So I wouldn't be surprised if Arkansas, starts nailing the coffin of Hugh Freeze's career. He could that give him more time to focus on his golf game. I mean, that is what he cares about.
That's what they've been complaining about all summer long. They says he's been more focused on golf than he has the Auburn football team. So we'll see. Well, JJ, Arkansas finished the season up at LSU, at Texas, and Missouri coming to town. Tell me about these last 3 games.
Yeah, those are tough.
What's tough about them?
LSU, they have a coach on the hot seat, Brian Kelly, that's going to really want to solidify his place in Baton Rouge.
Can I interrupt you for a moment? Before we move on to these 3 games, you mentioned LSU. Brian Kelly is 0-3 for the first game of the year at LSU. This year they got Clemson. Clemson very well could be the number one team in the country to start the year. Is he going to be 0-4? And you kind of shake your head when I say they could be the number 1 team in the country.
Yeah, I don't have that much belief in Clemson. I do, however, have a lot of belief in their quarterback. Cade Klubnik, I think he should be getting all the hype that that quarterback down in Austin is getting, honestly. Like, he's actually, him and Lenore Sellers have actually done things on the field.
Okay.
So I think those 2 South Carolina quarterbacks actually should be getting all the hype that Arch Manning was getting. I definitely could see Clemson beating LSU. I think that's going to be
But can you see LSU beating Clemson?
I can see it. I mean, Garrett Nussmeier himself, he might be the number 1 pick in the draft. He has a lot of arm talent. They have a lot of talent down in LSU.
Okay.
So I think I would pick LSU to beat Clemson, honestly. If it wasn't for, I don't know, Brian Kelly seems to, he got his bad juju at the first game of the season. Can't even beat USC.
Yeah. Well, let's finish up, JJ, with these last 3 games: LSU, Texas, and Missouri.
Yeah, at LSU in
Texas.
Death Valley, I don't like that. Texas is the preseason number 1 team in the country. I don't like that. I see 2 of those teams being losses, 2 of those games being losses before they win at home against Missouri for the first time in a while. Also, obviously, I do see them beating Mississippi State.
Okay, so tell me, before we close the show, is Sam Pittman going to be coaching Arkansas next year?
Oh, man, Sam Pittman is going to be coaching Arkansas next year. To me, it comes down to the Mississippi game and the Texas A&M game. Those are the pivotal games. And Auburn, you got to win Auburn. And Missouri, those games need to be wins. If you're not, I don't see any path for him to be the coach next year.
Okay.
You?
You know what? I'm getting them to win 8 games this year, and I say he does be bad. Their non-conference schedule is not what you would call a cupcake. They do have Memphis and Notre Dame.
It's ranked. Their entire schedule is ranked as the 2nd hardest schedule in the country this year.
Yeah, they got the road games at Tennessee, at LSU, at Texas, at Mississippi, at Memphis. All 5 of those teams are dangerous.
Yeah.
But you know what? Arkansas get 2 wins out of that. And Sam Pittman, you keep your job. How you feeling?
Well,
I think he's happy, JJ.
Yeah.
If he was here, he would say he's happy.
If that happens, I'm sure he would be very, very happy.
Take it to the bank. They win 8 games this year.
From your lips to God's ears.
You got anything, JJ?
Nah, just got a who day.
WPS. Whoopig Suey. Bam. We out of here.